Hello everybody, we're going to be talking about Microsoft ending service for Windows 7 and how it affects a healthcare provider, affiliate, and HIPAA compliance requirements. Windows 7 to this date is still incredibly popular. Majority of healthcare industries rely on it for their operations and workflow, but Microsoft announced Windows 7 end of life on January 14, 2020. Windows, if you can believe it, is a decade old. With the news of Windows 7 life cycle ending, how does it now affect healthcare providers and their affiliates? Well, when Windows 7 reaches end of life phase, healthcare providers and affiliates that rely on Windows 7 to run their business will need to migrate to Windows 10 in order to maintain the security of the sensitive healthcare data they handle. Windows 10 HIPAA compliance become even more important than ever before, now that Microsoft announced its major shift of the operating system. The days of configuring Windows 7 to be HIPAA compliant will no longer serve business working in healthcare. Once the end of service date hits, Microsoft, get this, will no longer be releasing security updates to Windows 7, meaning that any potential security vulnerabilities can and will be exploited by hackers to access sensitive healthcare data. Microsoft will not offer any help or support if you encounter any of these problems. So after Windows 7 end of life, you may continue to use the operating system, but at your own risk. New computer viruses and other malware are developed all the time, and without the security updates needed to fight them off, your healthcare data and your systems are vulnerable. This is a gateway for malicious users, hackers, and cybercriminals to target viruses and other nasties at your system and network. By failing to update your computer systems once Windows 7 goes out of service, healthcare professionals and their affiliates run the risk of creating major compatibility issues, delays in scheduling software, data loss, and costly data breaches resulting from security vulnerabilities. With these risks out there, you need to start thinking about finally moving on from this operating system. If your business is already working with IT service provider or MSP, then the first step is to work on a plan to update your system to Windows 10. Upgrading from Windows 7 to Windows 10 is not as complicated as it seems. Since both operating systems are made by Microsoft, this upgrade process is relatively easy. Upgrading to a new operating system takes time and careful planning. That's to ensure that whatever changes you make for your system will be minimal disruption to your practice. A smooth and successful transition to a new operating system requires these things. Number one, identify machines that need to be upgraded or replaced. Develop a timeline and a budget for upgrades and replacement. Implement security controls to separate critical systems from Windows 7 machines that cannot be upgraded or removed. Number 4, plan for employee training to learn the new systems. And number 5, and the most important of all, back up your data. Make sure that documents are safely backed up. Make sure that the practices have backup of all your healthcare data just in case something happens or something goes wrong. Have your IT provider run some tests on these devices that have been backed up, using the backup data to make sure everything's okay. This to ensure compatibility and to test that full migration of computer systems is ready for rollout. It's important that you configure new Windows 10 rollout in such a way that privacy and security of data is maintained in accordance with HIPAA regulations. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to us and we'll find you the answers you need. Thank you very much, Troinet.